Good day, I'm Samantha Estuesta, and my topic is all about the puppets and marionettes. I know each of us are familiar with puppets, but first, what are puppets? Puppets are figures usually in imitation of life under an operator's control used for dramatic presentation. So these puppets are controlled of a performer or the player. The word puppet refers to two types of hand-manipulated artificial figures. First is the puppet or a doll manipulated directly by hand. And second is the marionette or a doll manipulated by a string. Puppets may be classified into three. The first is the stick puppets. The second is the shadow and silhouette puppet. And the third one is finger or hand puppet. First is the stick puppets. Stick puppets are flat cutouts painted to represent the desired character and attached to a stick or a rod. The second one is the shadow and silhouette puppet. So these are flat, black cutouts from a cardboard paper. It is presented using a shadow or the silhouette. The last classification of puppet is the finger or hand puppet, are the easiest type to make though not to operate. They can be made from socks or grocery bag or old pieces of cloth shaped like a head. So these are the common puppet that we are seeing. Another is the string puppets. These are often called marionettes. And the word is of French origin. A marionette is a figure with movable limbs which are manipulated by strings, wires, or rods from above. Strings puppets perform their parts on a stage. This may be a box-like structure, 2 feet by 2 feet, with a depth of about 1.5 feet, with no cover at the top. So these string puppets are hard to perform because of the string. When there are several marionettes, there should be more performers or players. The marionettes are dressed with the costume of the character they are supposed to portray. The person who pulls the string must have many voices or the ability to make the movements of the puppet seem natural or exaggerated. So, when you are performing a string puppets, you must be knowledgeable enough to make the puppet move, and as well as your voice should be a lot of it's like you have many voices to portray. Now let's move forward to the values of puppets and marionettes. Number 1, cooperation is developed among members of the class. So when we are performing puppets or the marionettes, we develop collaboration among the members of our class. Second is the shy and slow learners can make significant contribution. So they can collaborate with you in performing the puppet. Third is a great deal of out of classroom work is done. So it is the out of classroom work. So fourth is interest in reading are developed. So when puppets can develop students' interest in reading. Fifth is oral and written forms of expressions are improved. So their oral and written expressions can develop. Also, sixth, develop artistic and creative skills. So it's not just about oral and written expressions, but also their artistic and creative skills. Seventh is develop manipulative skills by manipulating the puppet itself. And now we're done with the values of puppets and marionettes. let's move forward to the advantages of puppets. First is puppets provide opportunities for many participants. Second, it does not involve too much exercises because you are just using your hand to perform. Third is it requires little in way of costumes, stage, props, and equipments because you are not going to wear your costume, but you you're just going to bring your puppet with you. Fourth is pupils may engage in every aspect of the production of puppet or marionette play. And the last one is there is audience involvement and participation. Since there is advantages of a puppet, now let's talk about the principles in using a puppet play for teaching. The first bullet, do not use puppets for stories or plays that can be done just as well or better by other dramatic means. So if it is much better to perform in a dramatic means, then do not use puppets for that story. Next bullet is the puppet plays must be based on action rather than on words. So if your story is more on actions, then it is good. Third bullet, puppet plays must be short. So in order for you to not be tired of manipulating your puppets, your play must be short only. Fourth is puppet plays must be adapted to a particular audience. So it must be adapted to a specific or particular audience. Fifth bullet is music and dancing can be made part of the puppet show. So it's not just about the acting or the actions itself, but also it should be associated with the music and dance. And the last bullet, the hand puppet can be the narrator or storyteller. So if you are manipulating a puppet, then you itself is the narrator of your story as well as the voice of your puppet. So that is the principles in using a puppet for teaching. So that ends my topic about the puppets and marionettes. Thank you for listening.